We know the problems all too well. Friends, family, neighbors, Americans out of work. The government struggling to bring down the national debt. Concern about our energy future. But what if there was a straightforward way to help tackle some of these problems? Well, there is, and we've got an answer. The oil and natural gas industry can provide 1 million new American jobs, hundreds of billions in government revenue, and significantly increase our energy security. And all of this can be done by 2020. So the question we should be asking ourselves is not so much, what if we had solutions, but rather, when do we get started? For example, here are 3 domestic energy sources that have not been allowed to meet their full production potential: offshore resources, natural gas, and Canadian oil sands. As you can see, the highlighted areas represent regions of our country where domestic resources are ready and waiting to create safe, high-paying American jobs. What you see on this map is the offshore resources available with increased access. Add in what you see here, the available areas of the United States for shale and natural gas, all scattered throughout the country. And what you see here is the Keystone Pipeline. The solid line is where it currently is, but the dotted line is the proposed additional pipeline, one that would give America extended access to Canadian oil sands and countless new jobs. Increased access to domestic resources in these areas and other pro-development energy policies could add over 1 million jobs to the economy in under a decade. That's right, just a few smart decisions in Washington would bring in over 1 million jobs. Let's look at the map again. If we increase access for on and offshore oil and natural gas, return offshore permitting to pre-moratorium levels, and move ahead with the construction of the Keystone XL and other pipelines from Canada, we'd see job growth all across the country. By 2020, we could add close to 50,000 jobs in New York and over 20,000 in Pennsylvania. We'd gain near 50,000 jobs in Utah and over 85,000 in California. And in the South, we could add over 130,000 jobs in Florida and over 150,000 jobs in Texas. As you can see, this is not only a regional solution, but the answer to a national problem. Now that we've created jobs, what if we need to find a way to increase the money going to the government? We've got an answer for that too. The policies I just discussed could increase revenues to federal, state, and local governments by nearly $800 billion by 2030. $800 billion? Now that's not a small number. Imagine how big that number really is. Based on the White House's budget, that would be enough money to cover the projected budgets for the Department of Transportation, the Department of the Interior, the EPA, the Small Business Administration, and the General Service Administration. And that's not just for 1 year. $800 billion would cover all of their budgets until the year 2030. That's right, enough money for nearly 20 years. Finally, what if we had a way to help increase energy security for the United States? You can see our government's oil and natural gas worldwide demand projection for the next 25 years. Now, one point is abundantly clear. Demand is not going down. But what if we could reduce our reliance on foreign energy? Well, we can. If Congress allows access to the very areas we've identified here, we'd be able to do things we've never dreamed of. Imagine being able to power 65 million cars for 60 years, to supply 60 million homes with heat for 160 years. Want to reduce our reliance on foreign oil? With access to Canadian oil sands, projected biofuels development, and our own U.S. resources, we could secure 100% of all liquid fuels we'll need right here in the United States. Yes, that's right, all the fuel we need would be covered by our solution. These are all possible, and it's not that difficult. Right now, the oil and natural gas industry supports more than 9 million jobs. Our study finds that gaining access to the areas we've discussed could add 1 million new jobs by 2018. The question becomes, does it make sense to leave that many jobs on the table? These questions don't have to be what-ifs. They can be part of the solution.